Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night SmackDown, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. We are now 8 days away from Night of Champions, where the entire fabric of the WWE Universe can be shifted on its head, and it all begins with this man right here, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, who came out here on SmackDown last week with some scathing remarks for the rest of the brand. Randy Orton did not like what he heard, and he would sneak in from the crowd and lay Roman Reigns out with an RKO in the middle of the ring. That would set up a must-win match later on in the night between the Bloodline and Randy Orton. And Randy Orton went all around looking for someone to help him out, and that help would come in the form of the GOAT, Rey Mysterio, who would help Randy Orton out in a big way, helping him pick up the win against Santos Escobar and Jimmy Uso, granting Randy Orton a main event match for the championship at Night of Champions. But it didn't stop there. Roman Reigns would come and get his payback, laying out Randy Orton in the ring and hitting him with a vicious assault to close out the show last night, pummeling him with punches and setting him up with a spear. The assault didn't end there though, lining him up for the Superman punch, turning him inside out. And as SmackDown went off the air, he had Randy Orton begging on his knees. And here we go tonight to start the show off. The Viper, Randy Orton, coming to the ring. Of course, as we mentioned, Randy Orton is guaranteed a title shot at Night of Champions. But I know he must be here tonight to address the attack he suffered last week at the hands of the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. He can't be too high on himself. Despite his big monumental victory against Santos Escobar and Jimmy Uso, he still must be feeling the effects of that vicious beatdown. But here he is out here tonight to start off the show. We're going to see what he wants. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are 8 days away from Night of Champions, the first PLE in the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson era. And we're starting our show off tonight with the Viper. Wouldn't he love to leave Jeddah with his 15th World Championship reign, beginning under the stars in the Desert Oasis at Night of Champions? But he'll have a tough opponent, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, who has run the entire WWE with an iron fist for the better part of the last 3 years, with the help of his cousins, the Usos, and of course, the Enforcer, Santos Escobar. This battle here will be personal, but we'll see in just a moment what the Viper has to say. I'm sick and tired of all of this, Roman Reigns. I'm sick and tired of the bloodline. I'm sick and tired of the interference. We don't have to wait until Night of Champions. We can settle it in the ring right here, right now. So Roman, get your ass out here. And Randy calling Roman Reigns out. But wait a minute. That's not Roman Reigns. That is Jimmy Uso, the cousin of Roman Reigns. And now the right-hand man, as Jey Uso has moved on to Monday Night Raw. What is this? The fans do not want to see this man out here. The fans want the Tribal Chief. But Jimmy Uso was here instead, walking towards the ring to address Randy Orton. Randy. It don't work like that, Uso. You can't just skip to the head of the table. If you want your hands on Roman Reigns tonight, you got to get through me first. Jimmy, that's not a problem. I got an ass kicking that I'm ready to hand out to anyone in the bloodline. So how about this? You and me in the ring tonight, and if I win, I pick the stipulation for the match with Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. Then it's settled, Uso. And the challenge accepted by Jimmy Uso. Tonight, Jimmy Uso and Randy Orton will face off. And if Randy Orton wins, he gets to pick the stipulation for his match with Roman at Night of Champions. And we're back here live in Austin, Texas with Friday Night SmackDown. And we're gonna get this show started off in the right way with the Empress of Tomorrow.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Osaka, Japan.
Of course, Asuka, the subject of a lot of scrutiny, as she got herself involved in Bianca Belair's #1 contender match 2 weeks ago against Tiffany Stratton, sneaking into the ring and hitting Bianca Belair over the head with a steel chair while the referee's back was turned, giving Tiffany Stratton an edge up in that match. We all know Bianca would go on to win, and Bianca would get her payback this past week on SmackDown, taking Asuka out in the backstage area as Asuka was preparing to take part in a tag team qualifying match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, here tonight, Friday Night SmackDown, Bianca Belair finally able to get her hands on Asuka in an official match. Asuka here, accompanied by the Women's Champion, who will now have to defend her title against a very angry Bianca Belair. But can Asuka somehow right her wrongs?
I'm on my own against the rock.
And from Knoxville, Tennessee, Bianca Belair.
Asuka's here to right her wrongs tonight, but that won't be easy coming against the EST, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, of course, lost her title last year at SummerSlam to a cash-in by Io Sky. And after Asuka's interference in her #1 contender match 2 weeks ago, Bianca's been on a collision course to this match here tonight. And I know that there's more than pride on the line here. Bianca's already guaranteed her title match at Night of Champions. This is just going to be a hardcore, bare bones knuckle fight against Asuka to prove that she messed with the wrong lady. But who will come out on top? Referee John Cone ringing the bell. This match is getting underway. Asuka, double arm suplex overhead to Bianca Belair. Two women locking up in the ring. Bianca Belair with the reversal, chasing Asuka down, shoulder thrust into the corner, and the stomps. These two women have bad blood. They had a historic matchup at WrestleMania 39 last year. Of course, Asuka aligning herself with Damage Control, helping out Io Sky, helping Io Sky maintain that Women's Championship, trying to prevent Bianca Belair with the elbow drop, trying to prevent this woman here, Bianca Belair, from earning a title shot. And you see it backfired. Bianca Belair still won her match and still has that title shot. And now, to put icing on the cake, Bianca Belair is pissed as she goes for another standing splash. And she gets the 1 count this time around, but that's all. Asuka's gonna have her work cut out for her tonight, trying to slow the momentum of Bianca Belair. We see her, Bianca running the ropes and a kick to the face. This match, like I said earlier, is about more than pride. Asuka wanting to weaken the EST, wanting to make the match at Night of Champions as easy as possible for her friend and ally, Io Sky. But also wanting a bit of payback for that ass whooping she took in the backstage area last week. Now, Damage Control is not a part of the Women's Tag Team Championship ladder match at Night of Champions. And it's due large in part to that woman there, the EST, clothesline to the back of the head. Of course, that attack forcing Bayley into a handicap match last week against Shotzi and Zelina Vega, which she would lose. And now everything's riding on Io Sky in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. She must carry the torch and retain her championship to keep the gold in Damage Control. Asuka now, swift kicks, and whipping Bianca Belair across the ring by her hair. And now this is the strength that Asuka has, the Empress of Tomorrow, with the German suplex. This is what we're going to need to see from Asuka. Asuka, another kick to the face. 8 days away from Night of Champions, trying to weaken the challenger, but Bianca is not going to go out easy here. No matter what Asuka throws at her, Bianca just showing that strength, showing that ability. Now military pressing Asuka into the air and just dropping her on the mat. And the standing moonsault. Asuka powdering to the outside. And Bianca going airborne over the top rope. Tope suicida. This is the EST in her element. Not afraid. Putting the women's champion on notice. Io Sky's got to be getting a little bit nervous over there on the other side of the ring. Asuka now getting back into this match. Giving it to Bianca Belair. These two women must get back into the ring. That's the only place where the victory can happen. Referee to a 6 count as Asuka gets back into the ring. Now to a 7 count. Bianca gets in with plenty of time left. But now Asuka going for the submission maneuver. Bianca fighting her off. Sidewalk slam. We're just getting this started tonight here on Friday Night SmackDown. We got a jam-packed show with a lot of action. Neckbreaker there by Asuka, going for the pin cover. Not enough to even get a 1 count. Bianca Belair back up to her feet. And another submission attempt now by Asuka. Center of the ring, and Bianca's fighting out of that with another sidewalk slam. That's not going to be enough to put Bianca Belair away. Bianca has too much fight, too much drive, too much power. And now going for the pin cover. John Cohen hesitating, starting to count. And just in time, getting her hands up on the ropes for the rope break. Io Sky pointing it out to the ref. Bianca is not a fan of that. Thought she should have had the match won. Io Sky with the distraction, getting the ref's attention to the rope break. And now Asuka getting to her corner, seeking some counsel from Io Sky. But Bianca Belair has her on the ropes. And now with the stunner to the ropes, sending her to the outside. Bianca now getting as close as she wants to Io Sky, letting her know that this is her moment. Bianca can't lose focus here. Asuka getting back to her feet. And that little bit of distraction might have been what she needed to get back into this match. Bianca throwing into the steel steps. That could have been a tragic mistake by Bianca. Getting involved with Io Sky here ringside. Bianca fighting off Asuka. Here, the ref is at a 7 count already as she drops Asuka on her face. An 8 count now. Are these women going to get back into the ring? And Asuka just getting back into the ring to beat the 10 count. But Bianca going over the top, catching nothing but mat. Bianca quickly to her feet. Asuka celebrating prematurely as Bianca will club her in the back with those fists and going for the KOD. KOD connects. Pin cover in the middle of the ring. The ref distracted, going for the count. And a kick out at 2. The ref distracted by that exposed turnbuckle. But here, look at the brute strength. Bianca picking up Asuka like she's a pair of barbells. Dropping her face first. This is the strength we're talking about here with the EST of WWE. So much power, so much dedication here. And just a hip toss to Asuka. And now for the pin cover. This might be it. And Bianca Belair with the statement victory over Asuka. 8 days away from Night of Champions. Statement win for the EST. Io Sky coming to help her fallen compadre. Shared some words of disappointment here. But Asuka, though, is not having it. Shoving the WWE Women's Champion. I don't think she wanted Io Sky to get involved. She wanted to be able to show that she could win that match on her own, but she still came up short. And that's 2-0 Bianca. But we have 8 days away. Our WWE Women's Championship will be contested in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia under the bright lights. Io Sky versus the EST Bianca Belair for all the gold. But the action is continuing here tonight as we have the GOAT, Rey Mysterio himself, getting ready for action.
The following contest is a no-holds-barred match. Making his way to the ring, representing the LWO from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio!
This here, touted as another hardcore qualifier match. The last hardcore qualifier match for Night of Champions. Rey Mysterio trying to lock in that 6th and final spot, but he will have his hands full against the Nigerian giant, Omos.
And his opponent from Lagos, Nigeria, weighing in at 400 pounds, the Nigerian giant,
And I can't help but think, YouTube, as I speak to you here tonight, I can't help but think that this is retaliation from the CEO itself. We all know Rey Mysterio got involved last week in that tag team match against the Bloodline that guaranteed Randy Orton a shot at Roman Reigns' title at Night of Champions. And now, by some coincidence, Rey Mysterio will have to face off against this 400-pound beast for his spot in the Hardcore Gauntlet Eliminator match. Omos has been in the ring with the best of them, including Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 39. He is no stranger to the big moment. Can he lock in his spot in the Hardcore Gauntlet Eliminator match and become the next champion? And these two men on the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of size. You got to think that Omos, if he could win here tonight, would be the favorite to win that Gauntlet Eliminator match. I mean, he towers over every other competitor. So far, we got the likes of Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Kofi Kingston, and AJ Styles. Omos is bigger than all of them, stronger than all of them. And in a no-holds-barred hardcore eliminator match, you gotta like his odds to overpower the entire field. Sort of like what he's doing to Rey Mysterio right now. Rey Mysterio, no stranger to the David and Goliath matchup here with the backbreaker. But he must be out of his own league here. Rey Mysterio now, the old veteran. Not as springy as he was in his heyday. Much more of a mentor now. And Omos to the apron. Reaching for Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio with the stiff punches, knocking him off the apron. Rey Mysterio is going to be the first one to go for the weapons. Of course, all hardcore gauntlet matches are contested under hardcore rules. Omos just avoiding that kendo stick, dropping Rey Mysterio face first onto the apron. But Rey Mysterio countering with a kick to the face. The beauty of a hardcore match is Rey Mysterio hits the stomp. The beauty of a hardcore match is that it's any man's game because there's no rules, no countouts, no disqualifications, and a weapon can change the course of any match. One well-placed chair shot. One well-placed shot with a kendo stick as Rey Mysterio goes for a chair. That's all it takes here. Now Omos rearranging furniture, going for a shovel. Rey Mysterio, you need to watch out, getting whacked across the face. Rey Mysterio back to his feet somehow, but Omos putting him quickly down and Rey Mysterio back up. And now, the bear hug. Submission still counting this match, but Rey is fighting out of it, showing all his might. And Rey, now with the DDT to Omos. Is this enough for Rey to turn the tide of this match? Stomping now on the back of the arm. Omos quick to his feet with a springboard crossbody. And Rey is feeling it now. The crowd is behind him. Can lightning and a bottle strike twice? He's tuning up the LWO chants. Omos in the corner and a drop kick. Referee Charles Robinson officiating, keeping things clean between these two competitors. Rey Mysterio now swiftly in control of this match and setting Omos up for the 3 most notorious numbers in the world, 619. And he's got him lined up. Springboard splash. And Charles Robinson on the count. Rey Mysterio is headed to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Say what you want about the man. That little man has might. And he wraps up the 6th spot in the Hardcore Eliminator match for the Hardcore Championship at Night of Champions. Another confirmed match, and Rey Mysterio defeating all the odds, even against the CEO. But next week, we will confirm the final match at Night of Champions as the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, will match up against the Brawling Brutes, Ridge Holland and Butch, to determine who will be the 3rd and final team to face off in the 3-team ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. But we want to take you back to last week. As SmackDown went off the air, a brawl broke out in the back between Kevin Owens and Sheamus, and Austin Theory got himself involved in it. I mean, these 3 men went toe-to-toe over, of course, that vacated United States Championship. Sheamus, the one who attacked Logan Paul and forced him to vacate the title. And now, there's bad blood between him and Kevin Owens. But Austin Theory, who lost the match for the contendership against LA Knight, got himself involved. Just out of anger, hitting Sheamus with the A-Town down. But it will be Kevin Owens with the last man standing with the stunner, standing tall to end this brawl. And just then, confirmed for Night of Champions, will be a fatal 4-way to determine the new holder of the now vacated United States Championship. Kevin Owens, Sheamus, Austin Theory, LA Knight, all 4 men clamoring and facing off for the gold. And now we're back here on SmackDown. The show continuing with Santos Escobar coming to the ring, set to do battle against the Street Profits, Montez Ford.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar has been the center of a lot of controversy over the last few weeks. Secretly behind the scenes, wanting to separate from LWO and do his own thing, bringing back his bond with LDF, Legado del Fantasma. Of course, that's driven a rift in LWO, but he still flies the banner of the green, white, and red. But how will that fare as he goes out on his own to set up his own faction? We'll see him here tonight in solo action against Montez Ford, and we'll begin to get our answers.
And his opponent, representing the Street Profits from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 232 pounds, Montez Ford.
Montez Ford, of course, of the Street Profits, 8 days away from one of the biggest matches of his career. Already a tag team Triple Crown champion, this will be his shot to hold the WWE Tag Team Championship for the first time. Of course, the WWE Tag Team Championship making its return to WWE after years away. It'll be the SmackDown exclusive Tag Team Championship. And I know that the Street Profits would love to be the first team to get their hands on that championship. We already know that they're set to face off against Pretty Deadly. And next week, we will find out if it's the Brawling Brutes or the Bloodline themselves that will be joining those other two teams at Night of Champions. But tonight, we get to see Montez Ford face off against the leader of the newly reformed LDF, Santos Escobar. The two men getting ready in their corners. Referee Charles Robinson signaling the start of the match, and a flying clothesline already to Santos Escobar. Of course, Santos setting out on his own to try to take over the LDF and prove to Rey Mysterio that he could have his own dominant faction of Latinos in WWE. Rey Mysterio not the biggest fan of the LWO splitting up, but understanding that Santos has to settle on his own and define his own legacy, this will be his opportunity to showcase what he could do on his own tonight. Getting the reversal in, but Montez jumping on the top rope and a kick to the face. And already the action is starting off with a bang here in this match. Santos throwing Montez off the ropes, showing his athletic ability and a leaping uppercut. Santos Escobar trying to prove that he could be the guy on his own. But Montez Ford is no slouch either. As we see the leaping splash, and Montez catches a bunch of nothing. These two men with great athletic ability. Santos may have the advantage in terms of power, but Montez has the advantage in terms of championship pedigree. Montez taking a swift kick, but Santos showing off that lucha experience. And a drop kick to the head. Santos on the attack, moving aggressively on Montez and showing his strength, lifting him up into a back body drop. Montez with a flying back elbow. These two men with swift kicks, swift strikes. An even matchup here, and a proving ground for both men. Montez tuning up for Night of Champions. Santos trying to prove that he can set it on his own and run his own group. Both men with a lot to lose. Both men with a lot to gain. Of course, Montez doesn't want to take any injuries into Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, as he will already be in a grueling 3-team ladder match. And of course, Santos doesn't want to take a loss here, proving his detractors wrong. And that was just a vicious arm lock, arm breaker. And he's in total control of this match, working the arms again. And now, with the submission maneuver, Montez quickly getting out of that. And back to his feet. Will this be enough to turn the tide? Montez throwing Santos over the top rope. And this right here is what Montez needs. Montez needs that break to really let his athletic prowess take over. Montez, of course, a career tag team competitor. Very rare that we see him in singles competition like this, taking a kick to the back of the head. And he obviously wants to prove that he can be a reliable singles competitor. So far, receiving the bulk of the offense in this match, but still in it. as he struggles to his feet now, and Montez taking an onslaught of kicks from Santos, but a kip up, and he's back to his feet. But Santos is not stopping that onslaught with a tilt-a-whirl into the submission hold, leg over the top, actually. Santos going for the cover. Not even a 1 count. So much going on with that exchange of blows. Looking like a submission setup, but actually a leg drop. And Santos going deep into his bag of tricks for this match. Montez fighting back. And a springboard tornado DDT. Montez now getting back into this match. Punch to the face, dropping Santos Escobar. But Santos avoiding whatever strike that was, but catching a clothesline. Is this Montez's moment? Getting Santos Escobar up and slamming him down to the mat. Both men have been pretty equal in this match so far, taking advantage of their opportunities. Montez now taking Santos into the corner, working on that leg with a kick to the ankle. Montez now taking over control, has Santos on the ropes, throwing him out to the side. And Montez looking to get airborne, tope suicida over the top rope. And things just got real in this match. The crowd letting them know that they're into it. These two men, there's no bad blood between them. Both just got a lot to prove. And both are putting on a show here on Friday Night SmackDown, here in the Lone Star State. The WWE Universe is never one to disappoint. And Santos Escobar with a kick to the face. Montez quickly to his feet. And what's happening here? Mud stomp to the corner. Referee Charles Robinson blocking the view of the viewers at home. But we know that Montez is stopping a mud hole and Santos Escobar. And now going for the backdrop. Like I said earlier, this match belongs to anybody. Montez going to the top rope. Looking to put it away with the frog splash, and he catches nothing but mat. Santos now back to his feet. Rubbing salt into the wound with the stomps to the forehead. Can this be the turning point? Montez float over DDT, but it's reversed. Santos with punches to the gut. Not letting this one go easily. Tilt-a-whirl. Uh-oh. And the leg drop that we saw from earlier. Santos setting up for something here. Looking to put this one away. And Montez quickly shutting it down. And another springboard tornado DDT. Now going for the cover. Charles Robinson counting the pin. And that's a 1 count. These two men giving it their all here. And like I said earlier, a match with nothing officially on the line, but the pride of these two men with something to prove. Montez wanting to show that he could be a singles competitor. Santos wanting to prove that he could be the leader of a faction as he sets off to put LDF on its own and put LDF on the map of SmackDown. And uh-oh, here we go, here with a suplex. Of course, the entire paradigm of the WWE is shifting on his back soon, as we are 2 weeks away, exactly 2 weeks, from the 2024 WWE Draft, with the first night of action taking place here on SmackDown on May 31st. And a backbreaker, spine buster, here. And Montez Ford going to the top rope, clearing the real estate with a frog splash. This could be enough to put the match away. Going for the cover now, Charles Robinson in on the count. And Montez Ford has locked up the victory here tonight. And a statement win for one half of the Street Profits. As I said earlier, 8 days away from the biggest match of their respective careers. Montez Ford putting on for the Party Boys, the Street Profits. Telling everybody in the locker room that they do indeed want the smoke. And 2 weeks from now, as I mentioned earlier, the WWE Universe will be flipped on its head as the 2024 Draft will be making its way to Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, coming to you live on May 31st and June 3rd, respectively. Both brands will get their hands on some of the top talent in WWE, with 4 rounds coming to you on May 31st and then 6 rounds coming to you on June 3rd. Everyone is available to be drafted. The only exemptions are the champions. And it is sure to be a historic night for WWE.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I have the distinct privilege of serving as counsel to your tribal chief, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And tonight, at the behest of both Roman Reigns and the CEO, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I can announce the main event for this evening. Randy Orton will face Jimmy Uso in a match to determine the stipulation for the main event at Night of Champions. If Randy wins, he will face Roman in a cage match, free from bloodline interference. If Jimmy wins, then it's anything goes.
And you heard it here first. This match now has gotten that much more important. Randy Orton is fighting for a shot to get Roman one-on-one in a cage match at Night of Champions.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 275 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton!
Randy Orton coming out here earlier in the program telling us that he was sick and tired of the interference and the bloodline running rampant here on SmackDown, and that he wanted Roman one-on-one in the ring. Well, if he wins here tonight, he will get that in 8 days in Jeddah at Night of Champions. If Randy Orton wins, he will get Roman Reigns in a cage match with no outside interference. But that's a big if. If Jimmy Uso is somehow able to pull off the victory tonight, then this match between Randy and Roman at Night of Champions will be bloodline rules, aka anything goes. And we have seen countless times over the last couple years that when the bloodline gets involved, it is almost a guarantee that Roman Reigns will retain. We saw it happen to Cody Rhodes last year at WrestleMania 39. We saw it happen at SummerSlam last year against Brock Lesnar. We've seen it countless times. Once the bloodline is involved, it's anything goes. And anything goes usually leads to a Roman retain. But this historic reign is in the most jeopardy it's ever been in. The Viper is focused. Coming off that 18-month injury, he has his eyes on blood.
Representing the Bloodline from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 251 pounds, Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso has his hands full taking on the Viper. Many iterations of Randy Orton we've seen over the years, but the Viper might be the most vindictive of them all. Especially this injured Viper coming back, like I said, after 18 months with a back injury suffered at the hands of the Bloodline. This is personal for him. This might hold the key to his 15th title reign. And the only man standing in the way of that 15th title reign is this man right here, Jimmy Uso. A win tonight guarantees a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. And this is tonight's main event. The fans are clearly behind Randy in this match, but much is left to be determined, as Jimmy starting off with a chop to the chest and Randy quickly getting into it here with the submission hold. Jimmy not succumbing to that way too early as a flying punch to the face. And he's got Randy up, carrying him to the ropes and dropping him on his neck. Jimmy Uso has to be swift and fast and has to take advantage of that lower back of Randy Orton if he wants to win here tonight. Randy, though, the wily veteran with 20 years of experience. Anything that Jimmy throws at him, he's surely seen countless times over the years. As I mentioned earlier in the program, he is a 14-time world champion looking for his 15th title reign. Surely Jimmy's going to have to throw the kitchen sink at him if he wants to ensure bloodline rules for the leader of the bloodline, Roman Reigns. We had the council, the wise man, if you will, out here to announce this match. And you gotta know that there must be some desperation in the air. Roman Reigns calling on everybody to get this match under control, knowing that Randy Orton's got to be thirsting for blood. The Rock has got to be backstage, worried. As of right now, there's no guarantee that the Bloodline will have any other representation at Night of Champions, as Jimmy Uso over the top rope. After their loss last week, Jimmy Uso, of course, in action tonight. Will they have enough in the tank to take on the Brawling Brutes next week in their tag team qualifier? Will Randy win tonight and guarantee that one-on-one steel cage match? It's very, very possible that the Bloodline could walk away empty-handed in 8 days in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And this man right here, Randy Orton, wants to be the one to guarantee that. Suplex on the outside by Jimmy Uso. Randy quick to his feet. Charles Robinson starting to count. And Randy wanting to slow the pace of this match down. That's what he's good at. He's like the San Antonio Spurs. He plays the game at his own pace, not allowing himself to be rushed. And now going for the cover. In all my years of covering this sport, I've never seen a man as methodical as the Viper Randy Orton. We don't call it vintage Randy Orton for no reason. He really is a surgeon in that ring. And every time he laces up the boots, we see a vintage, historic performance as we get the scoop slam. And Randy's feeling it, going for the cover. And just getting a 2 count here. But Randy now feeling it. Slowing the match down, like I said, to a snail's pace. But fighting his fight. And the crowd is loving every bit of it. Stomp to the head of Jimmy Uso. Jimmy now trying to get back into it. But Randy not feeling it. Shoulder tackle to the outside. Randy will meet Jimmy on the outside of the ring. DDT to the mat. So much riding on this match. This entire night has been high stakes. Bianca Belair picking up the victory earlier against Asuka. Montez Ford showing his might against Santos Escobar. And of course, Rey Mysterio securing the last spot in that Hardcore Gauntlet Eliminator. But this might be the biggest match of all. Randy Orton smelling that 15th title reign, knowing that if he can get Roman Reigns on his own, that title is just as good as his, because the Bloodline has been protecting Roman for the better part of the last year. But will his actions here tonight be enough? Will Jimmy be able to steal a victory? Jimmy now dragging him to the corner. Randy fighting him off. Randy now trying to get comfortable in this ring again. Throwing Jimmy off the ropes. Charles Robinson getting in the way. Stepping right in between the offense. And Randy now with a slurry of punches. Jimmy with the reversal. Now with the swift kicks. These two men going at it. Jimmy now sending Randy to do the ropes. And a pop-up Samoan drop. That's what he needs. Super kick. 2 super kicks to Randy Orton. And the rope break getting called as he goes for the cover. Randy up to his feet. Jimmy's not noticing it. Trying to fight him off. And a diving punch to the face. Jimmy trying to take control. Prove that he is the true right-hand man to Roman Reigns. dropping Randy right on his back. And now we might be getting the Uso splash here. Going for the Uso splash in the cover, but another quick rope break by the ref. Charles Robinson not allowing anything shady to go on this match. Calling out quick rope breaks for both superstars as Randy Orton with the reversal and the quick punches. Randy Orton not going to be thwarted. Getting Uso back up. Now carrying him, throwing him with the overhead splash. And setting up for the three most dangerous letters in the alphabet, the RKO, middle of the ring. Going for the cover. This is it. Randy Orton will get his cage match at Night of Champions with Jimmy Uso with the kick out. Jimmy Uso surprising everyone in attendance here with the kick out. Randy Orton was ready to put this one away as now we get the DDT. And Randy Orton with a slurry of punches, and we'll be right back on SmackDown. We're back here live on Friday Night SmackDown here on our main event. And Randy Orton, vintage Randy Orton here with the apron DDT. Jimmy Uso laid out in the middle of the ring. And this is what we were looking to see here. Randy Orton trying to put this one away. Signaling Jimmy to his feet. We don't see Randy Orton go higher in district that much with the diving crossbody and the cover. Charles Robinson on the pin count. And Randy Orton gets his cage match at Night of Champions. Randy Orton taking a page out of Jimmy Uso's book with the high-risk maneuver, and Roman Reigns is in the ring. These two men facing off, and in 8 days, there will be a cage match with the title on the line. Who will walk away from Jeddah as champion?